Coverage you can count on continues with Glenn Marini's Sports Report.
For the 5th year in a row, Christmas here at the Highlight Zone is a present for football fans. Today, we're unwrapping your annual Fab 15. It's sponsored by Optimum Performance Sports. And what we did is what we always do to keep things fair and balanced here on the Zone. We sent out ballots to the area's high school football coaches, asking them to vote on the best players they faced this fall. We tallied up those ballots, and the top 15 vote getters, regardless of position, conference, or school size, make up your WANE-TV Fab 15. Without further ado, it's time to meet the first half of your Fab 15.
Hi, I'm Justin Becker, wide receiver at Carroll High School. I want to thank my family and coaches for supporting me this football season, and I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Boiler up.
At Carroll High School, they had the need for speed. Justin Becker filling the bill nicely this fall. The senior racking up 61 catches for 1,181 yards and 10 touchdowns. Becker 10th in the state in receiving yards while setting school records for catches and yards in a single season. Career records at Carroll? Yeah, he's got those too. His 162 receptions and 2,490 receiving yards are tops in Charger history. He's even better on the track, where the state champ sprinter has signed to run at Purdue.
Hey, this is Carson Blair, a.k.a. the Rifleman, Southwood High School quarterback. I just want to thank all my teammates, coaching staff, and family, and all the fans for coming to support us this year. Let's go Knights.
Numbers don't tell the full story, but they do tell a lot of it. With 9,843 career passing yards, Blair is the leading passer in Northeast Indiana history and number 6 all-time in the state of Indiana. As a senior, Blair completing 63% for over 3,900 yards with 57 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. Those 57 TDs led the state and helped lead the Knights to a sectional championship. For his career, the All-State QB tossing 125 touchdown passes while rushing for almost 1,100 yards and 18 more scores on the ground.
Tico Brown, Homestead High School, defensive tackle. Just want to shout out my coaches, Homestead, and my family, just for getting me where I am today. And I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Fire up Chips.
Over the years, opposing quarterbacks have been taken down by Mr. Brown. Tico graduating as Homestead's all-time sacks leader. He had 21 and a half of those. As a senior, Brown simply disruptive with 11 tackles for loss, giving him 39 TFLs for his Spartan career. An IFCA All-State selection in 6A, Brown finishing with 224 career tackles, and he's taking his talent up north to Mount Pleasant, where he signed to play at Central Michigan University.
Christian Covington, running back, Snyder High School. Want to give a shout out to my parents. Want to give a shout out to the Snyder coaching staff. Shout out to Panther Country. See you in Terre Haute next year.
When it comes to Snyder's ground and pound, it was Christian Covington leading the way. This fall, Covington 182 carries for 1,373 yards and 24 rushing touchdowns. For his career, Cov averaging 7.2 yards a carry. His total of 2,650 yards, 9th most all-time on Snyder's star-studded stat sheet. He's also top 10 in Panthers lore with 43 career TDs. An all-state pick in 6A, Christian helping Snyder to an 11-1 record and a sectional title, and he's heading to Indiana State.
I'm Justin Derkes, quarterback at Woodland High School. I want to take this time to thank my family, thank my coaches for giving me this opportunity, and I want to thank the fans for coming out and supporting us all season long. Have a Merry Christmas and go Warriors.
Woodland's all-time leader in passing yards and touchdown passes, this field general guiding his team to a 35-5 record over the last 3 seasons. That includes a trip to the 2A state title game this year. As a senior, Dirk is completing 62% of his throws for over 2,600 yards and 32 TDs to go with 7 scores on the ground. He graduates with some big-time numbers: 5,837 passing yards, 69 TD strikes, with 17 more scores using his feet. Dirkus was selected 2A All-State by the IFCA this fall.
Keyshawn Edwards, running back, Northrop High School. I just want to give a shout out to my mom, my family down in Alabama, my lineman, my running back coach, Von Martin, and all the fans that came out and supported us this season. Everybody have a happy New Year's.
The first ever Northrop player to make the Fab 15, Edwards was a beast for the Bruins. Despite missing right at 3 games with an injury, he still racked up 1,334 yards, becoming Northrop's first 1,000-yard rusher since 2003. The biggest feather in Keyshawn's cap, no doubt about it, a school record 352 rushing yards in Week 6 against Bishop Luers. For the season, the explosive Edwards had 6 runs of 50 yards or more. It's why he was first-team All-SAC and an All-State selection in 6A.
Lawrence Johnson, defensive tackle, Snyder High School. Just want to give a special shout-out to all the coaches that coached me for all 4 years. Special shout-out to all the fans and my family who supported me throughout the whole career at Snyder High School. And special shout-out to the Boilermakers out there. Boiler up. I love you, Payton.
The ring was the thing at Spooler Stadium as Lawrence leading Snyder to its 2nd straight SAC championship. Coincidentally, it's his 2nd year on the Fab 15 after anchoring the Panthers' potent defense. The Indiana Mr. Football positional winner as the best D lineman in the state, Johnson with 50 tackles, 7 for loss, and 3 sacks. All in all, Snyder giving up just 14.4 points a game. An IFCA top 50 selection as one of the state's best overall players. LJ's headed to West Lafayette to play for Coach Brom and the Purdue Boilermakers.
Hey, it's Logan Macklin. I go to Adams Central High School. I'm a running back and outside linebacker. I'd like to give a shout out to my family and coaches for all the support, and come meet us next year at the landing strip.
A highlight zone regular. If it's Logan Macklin, the defense ain't tackling. This talented junior starring on both sides of the football for the Flying Jets. Offensively, Logan racking up 1,542 yards while averaging over 10 yards a carry. Macklin, 16 rushing TDs to go with 6 receiving TDs this fall. Defensively, he was just as good, 102 tackles and 3 fumble recoveries. An IFCA 1A junior all-state selection at running back, Macklin has almost 2,400 career rushing yards with his senior season still left to go.
You've met the first half of the 2017 Fab 15, and after the break, we're going to introduce you to 7 more of the area's top players. Stay tuned. You're watching WANE-TV, Fort Wayne's sports leader. Welcome back, where before the break you met the first 8 players on the Fab 15, and now we round out the rest of the area's best. Here are your next 7 members of the 2017 Fab 15, brought to you by Ops.
Hey, I'm Andrew McCormick, quarterback for East Noble High School, future Indiana State Sycamore. I just want to thank my family, my coaches, mentors, friends, everyone who's helped me get to where I'm at today, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Andrew McCormick makes history as the first ever 3-time Fab 15 selection. But his resume doesn't stop there. With 6,558 yards, he's the leading passer in the NHC/NE8 conference history. He holds virtually every passing record at East Noble, and his senior season was icing on the cake. 63% completion rate, over 2,100 passing yards, and 21 TDs. Career-wise, the future Indiana State Sycamore with 83 passing TDs, 25 rushing TDs, and check this, 2,361 rushing yards in total.
Jack Rhodes, running back and safety at Woodland High School. I'd like to thank my coaches, my teammates, family, friends, and fans for all the support they've given us. Go Warriors and have a blessed holiday.
This Rhodes leading to Lucas Oil Stadium as a senior. It was Jack Rhodes leading the area with 2,164 rushing yards and 28 total TDs. The yardage, 7th most in the state of Indiana. Woodland's all-time leading rusher, Jack piling up 4,792 yards. That's over 1,000 yards more than previous record holder and Fab 15er, Mitchell Van Brocklin. A 2A All-State selection at running back, he wasn't too shabby on D either, with 69 tackles and 3 interceptions.
Chance Roddy, quarterback, Angola High School. I want to thank the coaches, especially Coach Thomas, all the parents, the A-Pride senior section, all the fans, and our first sectional championship in 25 years. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Angola earning its first sectional title in 25 years, in part riding the right arm of Roddy. As a senior, Chance connecting on 67% of his passes, that for 2,164 yards and 21 TDs with just 3 picks, while also rushing for 6 more scores. The first ever Hornet selected to the Fab 15, Roddy graduates as the program's all-time leader in completion percentage and touchdown to interception ratio at a whopping 38-4. Roddy and the Hornets had a perfect regular season, won the NECC, and finished 12-1 overall.
Hi, I'm Joe Tippman, offensive tackle at Bishop Dwenger High School. I just want to say thank you to all my friends, family, and coaches that have supported me throughout this whole season and this whole process. And I just want to say, go Saints and on to Wisconsin. Merry Christmas.
At 6'6", 285 pounds, Joe Tippman was taking care of business in the trenches. Only a junior, he was named to the IFCA Top 50 as one of the best 50 players in the state. Tippman anchoring a line that helped the Saints score over 27 points a game. Defensively, he tallied 57 total tackles as the Saints won 10 games and brought home another regional championship. After one more season for the Saints, he's heading to Madison as Tippman has verbally committed to the offensive lineman factory known as the Wisconsin Badgers.
This is your boy, Payton Chester from Southwood High School, wide receiver. I'd just like to thank my teammates, my mother, my family members, just the Southwood family in general. And Southwood always says, let's go Knights.
One of only 3 players in Indiana State history with over 4,000 career receiving yards, Payton Chester is a stud on the stat sheet. As a senior, his 33 receiving touchdowns setting a new IHSAA single-season record, while his 1,849 receiving yards second most in a single season. For his career, the speedster, 175 catches, 4,171 yards, 62 receiving touchdowns, and 75 total TDs. Those 62 touchdown catches tie him for #1 all-time in Indiana football history.
I'm Jai Wright, quarterback, Homestead High School. I just want to thank my coaches, Coach Zolman, Coach Skelton, offensive line, the great student section, and like Homestead Spartans always say, I'm in till the end, and go Huskies the hard way.
The Northern Illinois signee had the right stuff all season long for Chad Zolman and the Spartans. The future Husky connecting on almost 68% of his passes for 2,307 yards and 28 TDs. The dual threat QB also rushing for 750 yards and 11 scores. An all-state selection in 6A, Wright graduates with over 3,600 yards passing and over 1,700 yards rushing in 2 years as a starter. Homestead was 8-2 this year with both losses coming against Snyder. In the process, Wright winning the Ewell A. Wilson Award as the best player in the SAC.
Craig Young, wide receiver, Wayne High School. I want to give a big shout out to the coaches that coached me, Derek Moore, Coach Hogan, and Coach Rare. Also a big shout out to the Young family. Salute to y'all. A huge shout out to my boys at Wayne, Devernier Kelsar, Tristan Purnell. I love y'all. Rest in peace, little Nick.
A star as a sprinter on the track and a standout on the basketball hardwood, Young is a handful for opposing defensive coordinators on the football field. The 6'5" receiver is a matchup problem everywhere he lines up, and this fall he had 29 catches for 367 yards with 4 TDs and 255 rushing yards and 2 TDs on the ground as well. For his career, the junior has just under 1,000 yards receiving and 14 touchdowns. A testament to his talent, Young holds scholarship offers from Wisconsin, Iowa, Iowa State, IU, and Purdue, as well as a handful of MAC schools.
For more on the annual Fab 15, go to the WANE.com sports page. We'll have more stats on the players, plus individual interviews. You can also see a list of the next 15. Those are the 15 players who got the next most votes from area coaches, along with a list of all players who received a vote. That puts a wrap on the high school football season here in the Highlight Zone. Thanks for making the Zone Fort Wayne's favorite sports show every Friday night here in Northeast Indiana.